Mizjam.
How you slow down based on how many things you're carrying? I just noticed. That's so nice. The attention to detail there is really cool.
Of course he needs a shovel. I just got rid of a damn shovel.
The bone mechanic's so nice. Like, the fact that you get more from killing things as well is super useful.
The game has some really nice physics. Like when you collect items, you become heavier, which is pretty cool.
Very engaging. I really didn't want to stop, other than like my interest of time. Very, very creatively used.
So it's day 3 right now, and we're currently in our 16th hour of the Mizjam game jam. And right now what we have is we have our character able to push his wheel. We have our character able to shoot junk items and collect up other items like wood right now. And we've implemented skeleton AI so that we actually have an enemy that we could shoot our junk items like skulls at. And currently it all seems to be working, so something's gonna definitely go wrong soon. Day 4, and I'm getting up from a terrible night of bug fixing. Some of the most simple mistakes were made last night. I created a bunch of objects in GameMaker and I forgot to change their orientation point. When they would collide with the wheel object, the Katamousey type wheel object, they wouldn't spin properly and they would end up getting unstuck from it. And I spent maybe 2 hours trying to figure out what had went wrong and refactor code. So we're about 22 hours in now and we're only barely ahead of where we just were yesterday. So tonight I'm gonna take a short break, and then tonight will be spent making new AI for another enemy character and somewhere to dump all of the objects just to see if I can make that work, because I've not even tried yet. And we'll see where it goes from there. All right, see you on day 5. Yesterday, GameMaker decided to update itself, and in its new update, some of my code seemed to just not be working anymore. They said that that wasn't going to be an issue, but it for some reason was. If I look tired, it's because I spent the whole day yesterday bug fixing and barely implementing any of the stuff I wanted to implement. When I said everything could go wrong, this was the day. not only did I have to fix all these bugs and work with the new version of GameMaker, which is actually pretty nice looking, to be honest, Photoshop decided its scratch disk was full and then just completely shit the bed. And now I'm Photoshopless. It will not open. And it was an old version of Photoshop, and I was very reluctant to upgrade because I didn't want to pay monthly. But on to the good stuff. We got a new enemy implemented, and if we finish this thing on time, it'll be a miracle. Alright, I'll make this real brief. Photoshop is not coming back, so I've been forced to learn GameMaker's in-game sprite editor, which is long overdue, but I'm not really enjoying it. Some weird stuff happened. I kept getting invalid tokens as of the update for GameMaker, so like 2 or 3 hours was spent just like squashing bugs and like getting the code back to where it was, which I thought I had already done, but more things started to mess up in the future. So I don't know. I just solved a really important bug that was making the skulls kind of just randomly fall off of the character for some reason, and now that's fixed, thankfully. I still have to implement sounds, which I've never even done in GameMaker before. I had no idea how to do it, so I'm looking forward to that. We're down to like the final like 16 to 18 hours. I think it's 16 or 18 hours. I'm gonna have to double check that. If I don't get myself on track now, then this is it. It's not gonna be submitted because I'm not gonna be able to finish it. And I don't want to do that. Even this video is taking up like precious time. Yesterday was my final day working on the game, and although I didn't record very much, I got a ton done. I finished any and all additional art that had to be done for the game, like the crown, the gold, all of that kind of stuff, the final fetch quest items. I was able to finish up my goblin archer, including his arrows and how all the arrow physics and how they work. I fixed the water ghost chick. I fixed her trajectory bullets and things like that. I reworked the skeleton's AI from the ground up. Just something about it was not working. They would only attack you if you were right on top of them, so I had to completely scrap it, like delete it entirely and redo it. And AI is not fun. I added a health bar, which I didn't have before. And although it only shows you as having 3 hearts, you actually can take quite a few more hits than that because the game is a little bit challenging in some regards, and as you level up, yes, there's leveling up. You can also access the health bar at any time by pressing the down button, but otherwise it's like completely out of sight, out of mind. I don't want the player to focus on like how much health they've been losing, so you actually get a pretty decent amount. And there's also like random drops, which I added, where enemies can drop any of the various items in the game plus hearts to help you replenish, and the hearts replenish 2 health instead of just 1. I figured it would be like a nice little trade-off for somebody so that they don't get frustrated enough to not finish the game on their first playthrough. I think that's one issue that I have with a lot of game developers, and I'm not saying anyone in particular in this jam. I really haven't had the time to play anybody's games, but a lot of these people, they make their games either just too complicated or too easy. Too easy, you breeze through, you don't enjoy the ride. Too hard, and you're not going to finish the game. It's going to leave you frustrated and you're going to forget about it eventually. I'm trying to go for that happy medium where it's like something where even if you do die, maybe you'll try it again. I know that the game can be a little bit tedious. I felt that way when I was playing it, so I can only imagine people who don't even know what they're doing playing it. And that's another thing, like you design the game for your audience, but if you don't know your audience, then you just make it for yourself. I guess when people start playing the game, I'll hear about it, or I won't because no one will play it. When you play the game, you can tell me what you did, what you didn't do, and how the game worked out for you. And as far as it goes, there was so much stuff that I really wanted to add to this. There's a lot of art that went unused. I had a wizard character that was going to teach you spells, and I was going to have it so you could pick up meat, and it would give you the ability to dash. So if you're going too slow while carrying items, just things like that that I really wanted to implement, but just did not have the time. And now, if you've made it this far, I present to you Katamousey Island.